Oh, hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Well, yesterday I talked about the lack of songs for Thanksgiving, but when it comes to Black Friday, there is a song that literally bears the name, and this is, of course, the opening track to the Steely Dan album Catty Lied. Now, with as with all Steely Dan lyrics, you could write books or open up a website, as many people have, trying to decipher the various references and double or triple entendre that are employed in all Steely Dan lyrics. But to suffice it to say, while Black Friday is more commonly associated with people getting into fistfights over who gets the 5% discount on the obsolete black and white television, it's also a day that we can have a bit of jazz fusion fun to ourselves. Now, the entire Catty Lied album is really good album. It was in this sort of middle period when Steely Dan weren't quite delving headfirst into fully fledged jazz fusion the way they would on Asia and Gaucho, but they had moved well beyond the sort of more pop rock sensibilities with a lot of jazz fusion injected into them from the original Can't Buy a Thrill. This album, along with what is probably my favorite Steely Dan album, its successor, The Royal Scam, are really in that interesting middle period where they're sort of putting their hands in many pies and seeing what works. And again, a lot of diversity in terms of styles on this album. One could make the argument that in terms of the various styles, the various rhythmic approaches, the various instrumentation, that it is one of the more diverse Steely Dan albums, probably along with the Royal Scam. But I would say, in terms of this diversity of style, Catty Lied is frankly even more diverse. Now, for those who are asking, which is probably all of none of you, the term Black Friday pre-existed. It predated, the fist fights at Walmart and the mad dash to the pizza at Costco. It's usually before the 1950s. It denoted some catastrophic economic event. Whenever you have black and then a day of the week, it's usually a stock market crash or a currency failure or something like that. But the term started to be popularized as this shopping discount bonanza in the 1950s, and ever since then it is stuck. And it was initially mostly a US phenomenon, but then it gradually got exported around the world. So now, thanks to the power of social media, we can watch amateur fistfights in many different languages. Some might even have closed captions. And if only Steely Dan wrote a song specifically about that, but maybe they did. So happy Black Friday from me and from Steely Dan. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.